What's up YouTube? This is GalacticGod and I'm coming at you today with a behind the scenes sort of video. I'm going to take you through the process of what it's like to actually make one of the intros for our Duel videos. I get a lot of questions all the time from people asking me what it's like to do it, what is the process, how do you make these, what programs do you use, all these kind of things. And I thought what I'd do is go ahead and do a video showcasing exactly what that is and how it's done. So what I'm going to do is show you the process in which I use to create the Constellar intro for the most recent Duel video series. I guess it all starts first with an idea. You have to kind of know what you want to do and you have to have a plan to execute it. Once you have a direction on where you want to go, getting the elements together is the first part of that process. Now I know I wanted to use the Constellar Dragon M7 for the monster in the intro. So what I did is I found a rendered picture of him. Now if I can't find a rendered picture on Google, I actually have to cut it out myself. You would do that by using Photoshop, of course. Once you have that rendered image, the next thing that I usually work on is figuring out what parts of the character I want to move. Now I did a Duel video intro featuring photons where I kind of had a Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon kind of move its head up and growl, and I wanted to do something kind of similar, but I also wanted to give it a little bit more movement. So I decided for M7 I wanted to not only like have its neck arch up and move, but I also wanted to have it kind of flex its wings or have the wings flare out a little bit. So basically what that entailed is I had to cut out each section of M7 that I wanted to move so that it would be kind of on a separate frame, if you will. Now that can kind of take a little while. You have to go through Photoshop and it could be very meticulous and kind of long to do, but it's real worth it if you really take your time and make sure that the cuts are good. Once you have a separate element for each moving part, the next thing what you need to do, at least what I did, was I went out and figured out which backgrounds I wanted. I knew I wanted to have a landscape plus some sort of space or Cosmo type thing in the background moving. Once I found each background plate that I liked, I went ahead and went back into Photoshop and edited out the parts that I didn't think I would need. Now for this intro, I mostly use Sony Vegas, although for a lot of them, I do use Adobe After Effects as well. Now the first render I did was just getting the background to move. So I put the two elements together and then just animated them. Once I get a movement that I like, I go ahead and add in some atmospheric conditions such as smoke or debris or something like that, or fog or lighting or any of those kind of things. Now the first layer of fog or smoke or whatever that's going on is going to be behind the actual M7 character. So I want to put that back there first. At this point I'm going to go ahead and add M7 into the mix. Once I get M7 in there and I'm pretty satisfied with how its movement is going, sometimes getting the timing of how I want it to move can be a little tricky, but eventually it all falls together. Now we're going to want to add in some more atmospheric displacements here, some more fog, smoke, debris, that sort of thing. That way you have fog moving behind it and you got some moving in front of it, so it gives it a couple different layers. The next thing I want to do is add some lighting to the actual Constellar Dragon. Now it's supposed to be cosmic sort of, so I want to add in some different effects that's going to let it radiate some light, if you will. Right here I just kind of played around with the effect until I got something that I liked. Next I'm going to add in the Constellar logo, as well as some flares and some other little lighting effects to kind of give it a little oomph. Once I'm satisfied with how that looks, I can go ahead and put it through the render once again, and then I can start working on the audio. I think the background music and sound effects really add a lot, and so you want to really find something that's going to resonate with the audience and kind of give it that epic feel, and that's kind of the music that I try and find. The dragon roar is also important, so you want to find one that you really like and that seems to match the mood or the tone that you're going for. Now finally we're able to put everything together into one last render. And this is the final product, the one that you actually saw in the Duel video intro. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed that little behind the scenes process of how we make the intros for the Duel videos. As you can see, it's a very long process, which is one of the reasons that stalls us up from producing so many live action duels as we would like to. But it's I think adds a lot to it and makes the Duel videos that much more special, at least in my opinion. Anyways, in the comment section below, let me know what you think of this kind of video and if you'd like to see some more behind the scenes videos from us. And I guess that's it for now. This is GalacticGod, out.